So we just talked about Max Fried and how well he's pitching right now. On the opposite end of that spectrum is Bryce Elder. Now, look, not going to beat up Bryce Elder too much here because he is basically a rookie. He only had 54 innings pitched this past the season before, right? And he was thrown into some high leverage situations where the Braves needed some high quality starts. Okay, but Elder has made 22 starts this season. Okay. So in his first 11 starts, which encapsulates March, April, and May, it literally is a good dividing line. March, April, and May, he was 3-0 with a 192 ERA, and the league was hitting 236 against him. For the months of June, July, and August, where he just made a start here in August, he's 5-3 with a 507 ERA and the league hitting 251 against him. Now, here's the part that is concerning, okay, is the fact that March, April, May, he had a 56 strikeout to 19 walk ratio. So 56 to 19 strikeout to walk ratio. In June, July, and August, that number is 36 and 22. So he's barely above a 1-to-1 ratio, not even a one to, I guess, 1.5, 1 to 1.5 ratio, whereas he was almost 3-to-1 in the first few months of the year. So he's striking out less guys and he's walking more guys. And again, this is a pretty good dividing line because March, April, May is exactly 11 starts. June, July, and this start that he made on over the weekend is 11 starts as well. So the ERA is almost 3 runs a game higher. Now, look, this is not uncommon for rookie pitchers, right? You see guys that, again, it takes an adjustment period to the league, right? You can come in and dominate right away and have lots of success, okay? But at some point, major league hitters, those guys are paid a lot of money. And they figure things out. And they come in and watch their video and make adjustments and all this kind of stuff, and they start to catch up to you. And the same thing is true of offensive players. There's always this cat and mouse adjustment that's going to take place over the course of a season or a career or what have you. That you come in red hot, then the league catches up to you. Then you have to adjust. You adjust to them, they adjust to you, then you have to go back and adjust to them. And look, I like I like Elder a lot. I think he's one of the good young pitchers in Major League Baseball. He had a really good first half of the year where he was an all-star this year. And I have full faith and confidence that he can get this thing back on track. But again, these are bumps in the road that you're going to have with rookies. And that's why the importance of Max Fried, a veteran, being in this rotation down the stretch, more importantly, playoff time. Because again, look at where the rotation is. Right now, how would you set your rotation up? If you could pick your 4 pitchers, 5 pitchers, how would you set your rotation up? Okay. You would probably have Fried and Strider at the top of the rotation, and then Morton probably third, and then probably Elder as your 4th starter, and then whoever as your 5th starter, whatever combination of Michael Soroka, bullpen games, vagabonds, Jared Schuster, whatever you have at that point, that would be that. But right now, Elder with his struggles, as the league is catching up to him, and no real surprise. I mean, this happens with rookie pitchers. But can you trust Elder come playoff time? Can you afford to pitch him come playoff time? Look, he made a lot of big starts for this club down the stretch last year, right? He was one of the reasons why they were able to squeak out the division and find a way to win their 5th National League East title. And he was a big part of that down the stretch. Now it's a situation where, again, the division is not in doubt right now. There's no doubts about what the division is going to hold. It's not about that. It's about Elder. Can Elder get himself right and get himself back on track to what he was in the first couple months of the season or the first half of the season or what have you. More specifically, the first couple of months of the season, because he was magnificent come March and April and May with a 192 ERA. But the batting average has gone up against him. And more importantly is the strikeouts are going down, the walks are going up. And he's not a dominant strikeout pitcher to start with. Again, he's not going to average Spencer Strider type of strikeout numbers. But when you look at the strikeout to walk ratio, that's concerning. That's the concern that you have, is that, okay, he's striking out less guys. I can maybe live with that. But when you're walking more guys, okay, that becomes problematic. You don't want to basically have a 1-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. That's not necessary, especially in today's modern era of baseball, where guys are willing to strike out at a religious rate. When guys are willing to just give you outs without contact, that's not necessarily a good sign. So again, Elder is struggling, no doubt about it. He's going through these bumps in the road that rookie pitchers have, right? I mean, all guys are going to go through all these things. Like I said, not many guys just come into the league and just completely dominate. And guys have to adjust and things like that, to everything. But that's why the importance of Max Fried and getting him to be a consistent starter in this rotation sticks out even more. And again, right now with, still the injuries and, the flux of, even Fried, you feel like you have to roll with Elder and keep him in this rotation, even though that he has struggled pretty good here these last couple of months. So again, I'm on board with Elder. Again, you're probably looking at him as a fourth starter in the playoffs, what have you. Let's see if he can get back into that form, because again, long term, he's going to be a guy that's here. He's going to be a guy that's going to be in the rotation. Whatever happens to Morton, whatever happens to Max Fried, Elder's going to be a guy that is going to be part of this rotation long term. Ian Anderson had his struggles and things like that, as well. But you hope that these guys can overcome. You hope that these young guys can figure out a way to get this thing done and get themselves back on track. Because I think Elder's a really good pitcher, and he's obviously aided by a really good offense, and he's part of the long-term solution for the Atlanta Braves rotation. All right, as you go in and make Hittin' Hard your first listen, be sure to go in and leave us a comment on whatever podcast platform that you listen on. Let us know that you're an everyday listener to the program. We call them our everydayers, and we do thank you so much for being a part of our community and listening in 5 days a week to the shows. We thank you so much for being a part of this journey that we've been on.